This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, coming at you from Ottawa, Canada, where it was actually snowing earlier today. As you can see, Piper and I out on my balcony earlier in the snow. Hopefully that's the last of the snow for this year since it's almost May. But let me get into the news. I finally watched something from WWE. Well, technically, a WWE wrestler, TMZ, released the video of Jimmy Uso's DUI arrest last year, where I guess he called an officer a-hole. Basically, the footage is about 5 minutes long, and Uso takes offense that the officer expressed that he hoped that he actually passed the field sobriety test. And Uso said, quote, "Are you serious? Why would you say that?" And then the officer responded, quote, "I don't want you to be DUI. That's the last thing I want," end quote. The officer responded. Then Uso said, quote, "You're an asshole," end quote. So one thing I've learned from being a bouncer and also getting into bar skirmishes here and there, it doesn't do you any favors to be disrespectful to the police when they come. There's numerous stories I could tell you that I won't take up this podcast telling you where I've actually gotten off with stuff I probably could have been arrested for just because I was polite. So I have somewhat good manners. Some people would argue that, but I will still defend that I have decent manners. So basically, from what TMZ reported, Usos pleaded no contest to the charges and has to go through some training for the incident. And that DUI occurred in Pensacola, Florida, July 5th, 2021. So I guess WWE will probably have to pull some strings when he comes to wrestle in places like Canada. I don't know if he was on the last Canadian tour or not. They did, I think, 2 or so shows in Ontario last month, I believe. But in Canada, you need a special permit to get into the country if you have a DUI and you're from another country. But obviously with WWE's connections, they can get around stuff like that. But WWE hardly comes here anymore. I remember they used to come to Ottawa, Canada here every 3 months. And a couple times it came even less than 3 months. And then even before the pandemic, it was down to like once or twice a year. And that brings me to, apparently, according to the Mat Man podcast, WWE's Nick Khan, the president, wants to do more stadium shows. And that's interesting because they're doing less house shows than ever right now. And yeah, I think the stadium in Dallas can hold 80,000 plus or something, and they got under 70,000 for both nights of the WrestleMania. But that's WrestleMania, where people are traveling from all over the world to go see it, and they really pull out all the stops with the celebrities involved and so forth. And then they're doing the stadium show in Wales in September, and they haven't done a stadium show in the UK since 1992. And they're going to have Tyson Fury and all that on there. So maybe if they're going to bring in celebrities for all these stadium shows and pull out all the stops, then that could be a success. But with their regular roster, I can't see them selling out any stadiums. Because as I said, they couldn't even sell out WrestleMania with Austin coming back, Johnny Knoxville on the card, Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul, all these big celebrities, and they couldn't even get the whole stadium sold out. So for like non-WrestleMania shows, you would think it would be even more difficult unless they go to places in foreign countries or places like India where they never get WWE or it's very rare, then maybe it'll work. But definitely they are doing less house shows than ever. So these guys are working less than ever and making more money than ever. So don't pity any of these wrestlers that like to whine that they're hard done by. They have it real easy. NXT, which by the way doesn't do house shows anymore, did a 0.14 rating last night. Ivan Santos says Invader, the guy that killed Bruiser Brody, is going to wrestle this Saturday at 76 years old. Where's that, in Florida or Puerto Rico? Because last I heard he wrestled in Florida, which killed the myth that he never returned to the U.S. after the Brody murder, even though Puerto Rico is a territory of the U.S., but it's a lot different than most states in Puerto Rico, and I can tell you that from experience. Wayne says Usos needs to rethink what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, alcohol is worse than a lot of real drugs as far as what it can do to people. That's for sure. Mike, sorry, I'm going to be at the gym during Dynamite. I'm going to the gym right after this. So I know last week I was here during Dynamite. Mike says I'm just reporting on the video because I found it interesting that in Canada, to my knowledge, they don't release police videos like that. So I was just more interested. I don't even think they do field sobriety tests in Canada. I think they just do the breathalyzer from everyone I've talked to. So I was just more interested to see what the testing was like for DUIs in Florida more than anything. Jason says you know what? The other thing about WrestleMania, at various points, they were doing 2-for-1 tickets, and supposedly they did give about 6,000 tickets free each night, according to the Observer. So who knows? But they are making more revenue than ever, so they know better than me. Owen says GNW rocks. Yes, and the next Great North Wrestling event, September 3rd in Petawawa, Ontario. And as I mentioned yesterday, why not put her picture up again today? Vipress is going to make her Great North Wrestling debut. And I'm really looking forward to that event. Blood Hunter against Charlie Haas. Jeremy Prophet will be on the card. Jessica Black. Jenny Santana. Eve, the Black Widow. And I'm still working on finalizing the booking of the card. But it's going to be a big one, and I'm really excited about it. A few more comments. It's a shame Invader's still working. It's a shame he never paid for what happened. It's that whole situation is a shame. Thank you for the shout out, Daryl. Robert making a joke. Raymond says booze ruins so many lives, as bad as hard drugs. True. Very, very true. Boner Stallone says he didn't get paid when he was out. Don't know what that means. Daryl's giving a shout out to Shelbyville, Tennessee. Makes me think of The Simpsons. Sun says he's thankful for my channel. Well, I appreciate it. And a couple days ago, we hit the 320 subscriber mark. We have well over 200 million views on this channel. And we're also on Facebook at the Hannibal TV. Mike, I don't think Sonny should manage the Usos. Sonny is a danger to society. I said that before she killed that innocent person. I said she was a danger to society, and she's killed somebody now. And until she's obviously hasn't fixed her issues, judging by the tweets she's put out, basically with no remorse to the victim, saying that the guy had a heart attack. And she was only driving 10 miles an hour, and it was actually her car, even though the car wasn't registered in her name. So I think she's far from done with her issues, and she needs to be away from anywhere where she can get her hands on a vehicle and drive recklessly, because I hate to see innocent people pass away when it could be prevented. She's had so many DUIs and dangerous situations. Like, it's ridiculous. Just a month prior, she had like 11 driving under the influence related charges, and then she kills someone the next month. So it's sad that that happened. But on that note, I'm going to finish my coffee here and get to the gym. Patriot, have I ever seen a triangle scorpion deathlock? No. Raymond brings up that Sunny says she also had a seizure. Yes. In all these years of reading about Sunny's issues, we're now hearing for the first time that she has seizures. Yeah. I don't know if I buy that. Have a great evening. Cheers. This is just coffee, not booze. I'm going booze free until at least after my movie, because I'm training hard and I want to get into the best shape of my life for the movie Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage this summer. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at the Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Hannibal TV.